I will now hand over to my Senior Marketing Director, Odetta King, who will continue on the finance part of this presentation.
Awesome. Good evening. Blessed everyone. Thank you so much, Marketing Director Vita, Miss Tappin. So excited for her. I'm still on a high. I feel like I'm the one that got promoted. I remember when I got promoted to an MD. It's a super big deal. Let me go ahead and mute everyone. If you can please mute your line. Okay. So I love the scripture, right? And I put it in the chat. Proverbs 13:22, a good man, okay? A good man, a good man. Do we want to be good? Do we want to be good, right? A good man leaves an inheritance for his children, right? Not just for his children, for his children. How many of us are even thinking that way? Right? How many of us are even thinking about leaving anything, let alone multiple generations? Guys, you know I don't have any kids, but I've put things in place for my nieces and nephews, kids. I don't have any kids. I don't, right? So just imagine if I have kids, right? Proverbs 13:22, a good man leaves an inheritance for his children. For as long as I could know myself, I always believe in giving and leaving it a better place for the next person. If I didn't have nieces or nephews, it would have gone to a charity, some nonprofit organization that deals with kids, because we have to leave something. The Bible tells us this. And as a professor, I remember sitting with one of my fellow colleagues at the university. And he said to me, Odetta, they're on their own. I already, provided for them. I give them education. I give them housing. They're on their own. And I was like, okay. I mean, what could I say, right? That's his philosophy. And, we sit with clients, and some clients are going to be like me. And then there's others that's going to say, I don't care. They're on their own. I had to figure it out. Well, they're going to have to figure it out too. But this is not what we preach here, right? We're preaching from the good book, Proverbs 13:22. We want to make sure that we are leaving something. We're leaving this place better for the next person. Because I promise every one of you, if somebody had left something for you, 100,000, 200,000, a house, something, anything, even $5,000. Would you be saying that? My great aunt, Auntie Ada, she had no kids. And when she passed away, she left some money, not a lot, but I commend her for even leaving something for my mom and her siblings and the first grands at that time. She left something for them. My youngest brother, Aubrey, he's the last one, he got $5,000, right? She didn't have a lot, but she gave something and she left something behind. My mom and my aunts and my uncle, she left something behind for them, right? She didn't have any kids, but she left something. And my mom to this day, and my mom and my aunt and my uncle and my little brother, they're forever thanking Auntie Ada. Auntie Ada. Because of what she did, her generosity, even me singing her praise, because look, I'm talking about it today. She didn't leave anything for me, but that's okay. But the little that she had, she shared with her generation. So I'm a strong believer in, if God has blessed you with something, we want to bless the next person with it. And so as we talk about leaving an inheritance, right, I'm going to tie it into how can we leave an inheritance if we don't have anything, right? We first have to have something before we can leave something. So we got to put ourselves in a position to have first and foremost. And when you have, then you can give. You cannot give from an empty cup. You cannot give what you don't have, right? So let's talk about money, because the Bible has 2,300 verses that talks about money. The first rule to money is we have to accumulate it. That could be in the form of you going to your regular job, because we first have to earn it, right? But as we earn it, we want to make sure we are putting it somewhere that has high interest. The higher the interest, the more and the quicker your money is going to double. So we have to start saving and put it somewhere that is going to earn a high interest. The second rule to money is, as we are growing this money, we have to protect it. Because I hear so many people saying, well, Odetta, where were you when I had 300,000? So what happened? Where's the money now? Right? They invested it, but they did not put it in vehicle that's going to keep the money protected as they're growing it. So you could put your money in the bank where you're going to get a little interest. So yes, it's protected, but it's not going to grow a lot. You could put your money in the stock market or in crypto or in Bitcoins or whatever investment you want to. But it's risky, right? So when the guy said to me, Odetta, where were you when I had 300,000? Well, where is the 300,000? What did you do with it? He invested it, but it was not safe. So although it could have grown, it was not safe in the vehicle that he chose. Or you could put your money with an insurance company, which a lot of people don't know. And this is why they say it's a scam. But scam stands for still confused about money. You are still confused about money, because insurance is one of the safest vehicles if you know what we know. And because the mass does not know what we know, they say it's a scam. That's a reflection of them not having financial education. They're confused about money. Because you see, when you put your money with an insurance company, and not every type does this type of account, this index account that I'm going to share with you, your money is safe and your money is growing. So as we are growing our money, we have to protect it, because you could have $1 million today. And depending on where that $1 million is sitting in any one of these buckets, how much you're going to have 20 years from now. How much you're going to have 20 years from now. I don't know about you, but as the author of This Is Why You're Broke, I want to be rich and stay rich. Like my third book, Let's Get Rich. So as we are growing this money, we have to protect it, because you could be growing, and you high and mighty right now. But how much you going to have when you're 65? How much you going to have when you're 75? How much you going to have when you're 90? And how much you going to die and leave as a legacy to the next generation? It's very important to protect your money as it grows. The third rule of money is, we live in America, so you got to understand the tax game. If you don't understand the tax game, you're losing money. Because again, you could have $1 million, and depending where your $1 million is sitting, how much you get to keep is the bigger question I'm going to ask you. How much you get to keep? So if you put your money in a tax now account, these are your checking, savings, CD, stocks, mutual. It is what it is. We're just going to educate you. You pay tax now when you get your paycheck. Money in these accounts, you paying tax again. As it grows, it's called capital gain. It is what it is. We're just educating you because you're still confused about money. Tax later, this is where 95% of middle America have their money, and this is why they think it's a scam, because everybody doing it. So my analogy is, you know what? They're all fat cows. Yes, all fat cows grazing the nice green pasture. But where are they heading? Where are they heading? Straight to the slaughterhouse. And what is a slaughterhouse? Uncle Sam gonna slash it with taxes. So all of these money that we have in this account, oh, it's good right now. But how much you get to keep if you do not know how much taxes you have to pay on this nice big juicy account? So the question really is how much you get to keep. Now, do we think taxes are going to go up or down? Well, if you know what I know, all indication, the handwriting is on the wall. Taxes will go up. Does cost of living ever come down? 20 years ago, what was the price of a house? 20 years from now, what's going to be the price of a house? 20 years from now, what's going to be the price of your rent? As long as things increase, you're going to be paying more. So these accounts, although they're good, make no mistake, they are not the best. They are not the best. You want the best. Good is good, but they're not the best. Because I promise you, whatever you see in these statements today is not guaranteed. I don't care if you have $5 million in that account. First of all, $5 million in that account doesn't mean you have $5 million. Because about 30 or 40% of it is going to get taxed. And hope and pray the stock market don't drop tomorrow. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or any day. Tax-free account, this is where the wealthy are. This is where the 1% is. And this is why the 1% run the world. Because they are not doing everything that the 95% is doing. They put their money in these types of accounts because they know that what they see is what they're going to get. Now, all of these accounts are good on the tax part, but make no mistake, they have pros and cons for each and every one of them. But the one that stands the test of time, the one that has no con in my opinion, because I have these for myself, and not one, not two, not three, and about to be 4, is cash value life insurance. Why? You see, with a Roth, you are limited on how much money you can put in. $7,500. What if you're making a lot of money? What if you want to save more than $7,500? What if you want to save more than $7,500? What if you want to put $20,000 a year in this account? And guess what? Yes, it's tax-free. But if you're in your 40s, if you're in your early 50s, if you're in your 30s, if you're in your 20s, and you want to access that money for any reason, could be a business, could be to pay off your school loan, could be down payment on a house, could be because you got ill, cannot work. Somebody type in the chat, what's going to happen if you're under age 59 and you want to access money from your Roth IRA? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat, Facebook. Facebook, y'all can't see my Zoom. If y'all want to see my Zoom, y'all gonna need to get in the Zoom room. Go to odetaking.com/health and wealth. odetaking.com/health and wealth. And you can see my Zoom screen. Okay, but for now, you can engage on Facebook. What is going to happen if you want to take money out under age 59 and a half, because you know what, you want to buy this house, you got this investment property, you want to pay off for your kids to like not have student loan, I don't know, some deal came up, you want to buy a business, but you're under 59 and a half. Yep, got that right. 10% penalty. So now we got 2 strikes, right? We got 2 strikes. The first strike is you can't put more than $7,500. I don't know about you, but I'm not limiting my income. I don't know about you, but I don't want to keep making little money. I don't know about you, but I want to keep making more money every year. And to God be the glory, the more money I make, the more money I save, because the more money I'm going to give away. Pick up what I'm putting down. So the first problem is you cannot put more than $7,500. The second problem is, what if you want to take some of that money, but you're under age 59 and a half, which most people will need to touch that money before 59 and a half. Not only you get a penalty, But now you got to pay tax. Pick up what I'm putting down. You think this is a scam? You're confused about money. Keep coming to these webinars and you're going to learn about money, right? So let's talk about the 529, because I know somebody on this Zoom right now have kids or know people that got kids. And we don't want these kids to graduate with student loan and be tied to a job for the rest of their life that they hate, but they got to pay the student loan. At my university, I don't know what, listen, if I wasn't in this business, I would think they scamming somebody, because they're just over there giving away money. And they don't look like me and you. They're not little brown and black girls, okay? They're not little brown and black girls that when I have one or two of them in my class, I pull them to the side. And I said, you better listen to me. This is what you need to do. Let me talk to your parents. They got money, right? They're all getting money over there. So there's not a lot of us. And the reason why a lot of us are not in the classroom, because we give up before even starting, because our parents don't have the money to send us. That could have been me. My parents never give me anything to go to NYU. But I work and I paid my student loan. And I graduated from NYU with 0 loan. Not a lot of people would have even done it. Because they would have even said, you know what, I'm not even going to go to NYU because I know I'm going to come out with a lot of student loan. So 529, let's talk about it. If you want money in this country, you got to hide the money. If you want money in this country, you got to hide the money. Right? You got to hide the money. Let's just start there. All these Caucasian students in my class, they come from well-to-do families and they're still getting money. So obviously their parents know something that we don't know. And if I wasn't in this business, I wouldn't know it either. So now that I know this, I'm going to shout from the mountaintop and tell everybody. And you could think all day what you want to think, but that's because you're confused about money. So 529 college saving plan. Yes, it's great to save for your kids, but not in a 529. Yes, it's safe to save for your kids, but not in a 529. Why, Odetta? Well, number one, let's start with a 529 is going to disqualify you from getting any money, because when we see your application and you got money, your application goes to the side. Come back to us when you broke. Come back to us when you ain't got no money. And we pick up the next application, and this person that don't have nothing on paper is going to get the money. So let's just start right there, that you are disqualifying yourself from getting money. And you may say, well, that I mean, you're telling us to lie? I'm not telling you to lie. I'm just teaching you where to save the money smart. You're still going to save, just not in a 529. But let's say you already got a 529, because one of my cousins, Karen, when I first started this business in 2017, she had a 529 for Aiden. At the time, Aiden was 3 years old. I commend her for starting to save for Aiden at 3 years old. She had a 529. And when I explained this to her, she stopped the 529. Today, Aiden IUL is so nice. Okay, it is so nice. And he's got a long ways for college. So we know we set him up. He ain't coming out with no student loan. None. But let's say Karen decides she want to move out of New York. And she want to go live in Vegas because she loves Vegas. They're always vacationing in Vegas. So let's say she has this 529 and I didn't speak to her because I'm not in this business and I didn't know this information, so I couldn't share it with anybody because I don't know it. And let's say Karen had saved her 529 and a few years later she decides, you know what, Odetta, we're moving to Vegas because, you know, I love Vegas. I'm always vacationing in Vegas. Well, hold up. You have a 529 in New York. It's not going to work in Vegas. You cannot transfer it and use it in a different state. See, they're not telling you this. So who's scamming who? They're not telling you this, right? Yes. you cannot use it for a different state. So now we're back to square one. Penalize and tax. Because that money is for college. And if you're going to move to Vegas, which it cannot be used in a different state for school, now you're going to have to withdraw all this money. The tax that they told you was going to be for college, now we're back to tax and penalty. Because Vegas is not going to take this. So many people are doing this for their kids and they have no idea. My mom in her old age just moved to Tampa. Who saw that coming? People could pick up and leave and move to a different state anytime. But you got a 529. So now you go to Florida. Now you go to Vegas. Now you go wherever. And you realize, oh, wait, this school is not accepting this money because I opened this account in New York. And it's not transferable to a different state. So what are your options? Take the money. Penalty and tax. Who's scamming who? I tell y'all confused about money, right? The people who say this stuff are confused about money. Pick up what I'm putting down. Learn about finance, right? I'm not going to go into the other two, but let's talk about the one that has no downside. Transamerica, our parent company, just launched an amazing product. Less than 48 hours. And I'm Google guying over it. But when you save the money in an Index Universal Life, IUL, Index Universal Life, what are we getting with an Index Universal Life? Well, we're still saving. Let's start right there. We're saving money. We're saving money. The same money you was going to put in your 401k, the same money you was going to put in a 529, the same money you was going to put in the bank. Let's just start right there. We are saving money. And here it shows you the growth 13%. That is the maximum we can earn, 13%. But also, there's a safety of 0.75. What does this mean? It means that you are never, ever losing money. You're still going to make money when the stock market is down and everybody else is losing. To God be the glory. This is why they say it's a scam, because they're confused about money. They are confused about money. They never heard these things. So to them, it's like, listen, have anybody ever seen God? But God is real, right? Have you ever seen him? They're confused about money. And all this money that we are saving is tax-free. 100% tax-free. It don't matter where you go. I love when clients tell me, well, Loretta, what if I move out the country? What if I go back to Jamaica? What if I go back to Guyana? What if I go to Dubai? Who cares where you go? Keep your U.S. bank account and you keep moving the money to yourself. You're in Guyana, it doesn't matter where you go. You living in New York right now, you want to move to Florida, it does not matter where you go. You could be out of the country. You could be on space as long as they have transaction Wi-Fi that you could transfer back and forth. It doesn't matter where you go. And all of this money is tax-free. So who's confused about money? Tax-free money means more money. Tax-free money means more money. Pick up what I'm putting down. If you got $1 million and it's sitting in an account like a 401k, you got to pay tax on that 401k money. But if you have money in an Index Universal Life, it's 100% tax-free. Again, I don't know about you, but I want to know how much I'm going to have in the future, and what I see in my account is what I'm going to get. Right? You want to control your future? You put some money in the IUL. We can't say the same for your 401k, your TSP, because you don't know yourself how much you're going to have in a few years. And whatever that amount is, factor in taxes and factor in market risk. And let's talk about the fourth box. protection. Well, what are we protecting? Well, let's just start with your life. Let's just start with your life. You are protecting your life because you're protecting the car, you're protecting the mortgage, you're protecting your tech gadget, you're protecting your jewelry, you're protecting your trip. You put insurance on all of those things. But who's working to pay for all of those things? Who's working to pay for the mortgage? Who's working to pay for the car insurance? Who's working to pay for that trip that you're going to go on and you're going to insure? Who's working to pay for those things? You are. So you need to protect your life. So whether you're here or not, the show must go on because money has to be spent. Right? And then living benefits. Let's talk about being sick, which nobody wants to talk about. But I don't know about you. This is why I got 3.5 million in life insurance. 3.5 million in permanent, not term, permanent, all IUL. Living benefits. I'm not playing with this stuff. I live in America. I see too much. I see too much to be dumb and naive and make that mistake. Yes, we believe in God, but God give us knowledge and wisdom. So you have to protect your health because you're going to get sick. We are all going to get sick. And when we get sick, the bills are not going to pay itself. You want the best medication? You want to be seen by the specialist? You want to see by the best doctor? You want to try alternative medication or alternative treatment? That is not going to be for free. So let's talk about living benefits because we're all going to die and we're all going to get sick. And if it's a major illness, you're going to need money to fight for you. God first, money second. This is why it's faith and finance. We're going to need God first and money second, right? We're going to need God first because we're going to pray about it and we're going to have a miracle, but we're still going to need to come up with the money to go see that specialist or to get on a plane and fly wherever we need to fly. God first, money second. So if we're insuring material things, why won't you insure you? Why won't you insure you? Like, it just baffles me how people say, oh, I don't believe in life insurance. You ain't got to believe in it. Look what it's doing for you. But you know what? I'm going to cut grace because I used to be that person that was confused about money. I used to be that person that would say, you know what? I don't need life insurance. I got my burial money. Yeah, I used to be that person. I used to overfund my 401k. Yes, I used to be that person. I used to lose money in the stock market. Yes, I used to be that person who didn't want to hear nothing about life insurance because all I know is for burial. But now I know and I see the light. I'm going to share this with everybody because there's a lot of people walking around that are confused about money and they need to be waking up, right? So when you have this plan, God first, money second, bring it on, right? Bring it on. You're saving money, no stock market risk. You know, I look at my IULs and I love watching them. And I know I will never, ever be disappointed or see any money going down. I will never, ever log into my portal and see, oh, I had 74, now I got 54. No, my dear. That will happen with other traditional accounts. But that will never happen with our IUL. We will never log in one day and see a higher amount and then the next day a lower account unless you withdraw some money. Right? Unless you take out some money, then it's going to be less. But you will never, ever, ever log into your account and see one day you had 100,000 and the next day you're down to 80,000. That will happen with, guess what? Your 401k, your 403b, your IRA, your SEP IRA. Yeah, that will happen with those accounts. Your TSP. That will happen with those accounts. But not with your IUL. Right? So now I want to bring it home as we talk about leaving a legacy for your unborn generation, right? Because the grandkids are going to be okay. We're going to leave stuff for the grandkids, but it's not just about the grandkids. It's about the grandkids and great-grandkids and great-grandkids. So true story, I spoke with a client this week who is a Caucasian, and he said, Odetta, I took out 2 policies on my parents. $1 million each, paying $800 for each parent. Talk about generational wealth. The parents are not paying this. The son is paying this. $800 each on mom and dad. They're both protected with $1 million. So God bless the dad. When the good Lord calls him home, $2 million is going to go to this family. What's wrong with us? Is this a scam? They're doing it and they're getting ahead. What's wrong with me and you? Why aren't we doing it? That's because we're confused about money. We don't know what we do not know. So here is a female. I like to call her a playground millionaire because she is my client, right? And she sat with me and she said, Odetta, you know what? I love this stuff. I love everything you just said. I love the fact that I'm protecting myself. My money's growing tax-free. I will never, ever lose money. I'm never going to see less than unless I take out some money. I love the fact that I could leave something to my kids and my grandkids. I love the fact that, hey, if I get sick, I have access to more money. I love everything. What's there not to love? So she had some money in the bank and she realized, you know what, it makes a lot of sense. Like, I'm not even earning 5% in the bank. So she front loaded her IUL with a lump sum and then she's doing $600 a month, right? $600 a month. Because she's healthy, she got preferred elite. She got preferred elite. Had she waited a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, who knows what her health would have changed to? Getting preferred elite is a super big deal, right? Guys, it's not only for insurance, but it's also peace of mind knowing that you're healthy. Because an insurance company is not going to, they're not going to put preferred elite if you're not healthy. So I tell people, if you ever have to do labs or a medical, consider it a blessing that you're getting a second pair of eyes. Besides your primary doctor, you're getting a second pair of eyes to look at your medical records. So when I had to do medical records, labs for my first year policy, yeah, I was like, my God, why do I have to do that? Like bitching and whining. But now that I'm more seasoned in this business, I realize, you know what, Odetta? That was good. You had a second pair of eyes look into your medical history. So if there was anything there, they would catch it because they're not going to insure if there's anything there. So preferred elite is a big deal. So if you're on this Zoom tonight or you on Facebook watching me live and you are young and you are healthy, right? You want to make sure that you contact us. Get in while you're young. Get in while you're healthy. So she's saving $600 a month. And she took the lump sum that she had in the bank, not earning nothing much, because now she's educated, right? So here's a premium outlay. This is how much she put. The first year, she put $32,200. And if you notice, the second to last column, which is the cash, this is how much she has access to. So because she put so much up front with a lump sum, she put in 32, she's able to access right away 10,150. But she's not, because she's educated, right? She understands what this is going to do for her future. And from day one, let's say she drops dead the first year. All she put in was 32,200. And how much does the company have to pay out to her offspring? Right? We talk about leaving a legacy. Over $1 million. So the people who like to say insurance is a scam, they don't know what they don't know, and they're confused about money. Because no vehicle is going to allow you to dump 32,000, and if you pass away the same year or 1 day later or 1 week later, they have to pay out over $1 million, because that's what she's insured for. Who's scamming who? They're confused about money. So let's keep going. She only did the lump sum the first year. Every year she's doing her 600. 600 times 12 months, 7,200. 7,200 a year. She does this continuously because she still has her 401k, and she's only matching what the company is matching because she is educated and she is not confused about money. Because she's my client and she comes on these webinars, right? So she puts this money, she's saving, and then boom, retirement years roll around. And because I told her, when you're ready to retire, you are going to first access the money that your job retirement has. Why? Somebody put in the chat, why should people take money first? Once they reach retirement age, why should they take money first from their 401k, 403b, IRA, TSP, all of that crap? Why? Why should they start taking money from those buckets first and not their IUL? Put in the chat. Let me see if you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. Why should they? Anybody have any idea? Why should we take money from there first? Okay, let's liquidate those accounts first. Right? You're 65, you're 59, you're 60. Why should we start taking money from there first and not your IUL? Right? So you see, we have her taking distribution at 871. It's strategic because she has a 401k, she has an IRA, and I said start taking money from those buckets first. Let me see if you guys figure it out. Why? 401k, etc. are tax, because you shall be penalized if you leave it at 872. Yes, that's one. Yes, Rowan. Because they're confused about money. That's why you got to keep coming on these webinars. They're all confused about money. That's why they think it's a scam. But they're the one being scammed because they're confused about money. At age 72, they just rose it to 73. If you do not start taking your money, Uncle Sam got you again with a whopping 50% penalty. So who's scamming who? You better start taking that money first. Pick up what I'm putting out. I'm teaching you how to win the money game. Because at age 73, your 401k, your IRA, your 403b, at age 73, they just increased it last year. That account will be penalized 50%. Why? Uncle Sam wants his tax. Uncle Sam wants his tax. All that money you've been saving in your 401k, Uncle Sam cannot wait to start taxing you at a higher interest rate. And if you're very good and you got a lot of money, you still gonna have to take it out. If not, 50% penalty. So that's why you want to start taking that money first. Who's scamming who now? You confused about money, honey, right? So we got a 73 rule. Those accounts, Donna said it. Yes, Donna. Those accounts are variable. Honey, you better please hurry, start taking that money before somebody else take it. Before the stock market take it. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be 65 and I got 500,000 in the stock market. Like that alone would like send me to the hospital. That alone would make my blood pressure. If I never had blood pressure, you see the blood pressure will come, all the illness will kick in because that is stressful. Knowing that you have $500,000 in a 401k and one day you wake up and it's now 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, and you still got to pay tax. All the illness that was dormant in your body will wake up. That will shock them and wake them up. You better start taking that money first, honey. Start taking that money first, because if you don't take it, other people will take it. Taxes will take it. Stock market risk will take it. 73 rule and a half will take it. So you better liquidate those accounts first. But you see, they don't know that. So when I come and I educate them, they think it's a scam because they're confused about money. 3 things. Market risk, it's in the market. Penalty, taxes, 73 age rule. It's called RMD, required minimum distribution. So she's going to take money from there first because I educated her, right? And this account is still going to keep growing, growing, growing. No taxes, no stock market risk, right? And this is going to be the last bucket she's going to touch from. She's going to liquidate those accounts first because those accounts are at risk even while she's retired. Now at 70, pay attention. How much money did she put in? Cumulative premium, right? She put in a total of $313,000 that grew to 1.1 tax free. Man, I never thought I would be excited about that word tax free. I never thought I would be excited about that word tax free. And wait until we go to our conference in Tampa with the tax guru himself, Ed Slott. I'm going to be even more excited about this word tax-free. Because tax-free money means more money. You know how many people don't even know that? Tax-free money means more money. So her $313,000 grew to over $1 million tax-free. And she has a debt benefit of over $2 million. So if homegirl drops dead at age 70, how much money is she leaving to her generations? 2 point something, tax free. You know how many people will die and never even leave $100,000 to anybody? We want to change that. We want to change that. In my family personally, I'm on a mission to make sure when everybody dies, they're leaving something to the next person. They're leaving something for a grandson, a kid, a niece, a nephew, a cousin, an auntie, somebody, right? It started with me. Now I'm educating everybody else. We all are going to die and leave something, right? Houses are paid off. People will always have a place to live. So now she's able to take $94,000 tax-free in retirement. Now let's do the math. She put in $313,000, but how much is she gonna wind up taking out? Let's say she takes money until age 85. She ends up taking out over $1 million. Where can you do this? Where? Which vehicle? You put in $313,000. If you drop dead, your family has $2 million. If you get sick, you have access to $2 million. If you don't die, you don't get sick, you put in $313,000, you take out $94,000 per year tax-free, your retirement is going to be stress-free. Tax-free in retirement means you're going to be stress-free, okay? This is us going on all the trips, hanging out with the grandkids, still living a fabulous life, getting our gray hair done, getting our nails done, still eating caviar and drinking champagne, still going on any trips whenever, wherever, still taking the grandkids on every vacation or when school closed. Life is nice, right? And if we get ill, we got the money. We got the money if we get ill, right? And because we got the money, the kids and the grandkids will come around because they know auntie got the money, right? So $94,000 she takes out. She puts in $313,000. She ends up taking out over $1 million. That's money that she's going to take out on herself for her retirement. And let's say she passed away in her 80s. $500,000. Or let's say she passed away in her 90s. Over $300,000. Tax-free. Tax-free money means more money. So as we talk about leaving generational wealth, this is just one strategy. And you could have multiple strategies. And you could have multiple IUL. Hello, I have 3. I have 3. Right? I have 3. So pick up what I'm putting down. If you do not have this, and you talk about you want to leave generational wealth. Now, yes, there's many ways to leave generational wealth. Right? You can leave generational wealth with a property. But here what we see. The kids end up selling the house. Or they don't want to deal with the real estate. They don't want to deal with the tenant. They don't want to deal with snow removal. They don't want to deal with the maintenance of running the property because they're lazy or for whatever reason. They might just be busy, productive, successful people and they don't want to be bothered. They got their own life. So the people who are leaving real estate for their kids, that's good. But we got to take an extra step, right? We got to put it in a trust. So there's always a house for somebody. That kid that's not even born yet, there's always a house for him. So we want to put it in a trust, right? So they don't sell it after you're gone, right? Because they will sell it after you're gone. So if you want generational wealth, you got to put it in a trust. The life insurance that I'm sharing with you, that's another way that you could leave millions of dollars tax-free, right? Tax-free. So if you do not have this plan, you want to make sure you get in touch with the person who invited you and let's have a one-on-one and design a plan for you and your family. And with that being said, if you are an agent and you have questions for me, make sure you stick around, right? We're going to spend another 5 or 10 minutes or so to answer you guys' questions. If you are a guest, thank you so much for being on. We do these webinars every Sunday, Faith and Finance. Make sure you come back next Sunday. It's going to be the same link, same Zoom, right? Invite someone so that they can be blessed because I promise you, they don't know what you just learned. They don't know what you just learned. But it's not just about learning. You got to implement this stuff. And this plan that I just showed you, not everybody's going to get it. Not everybody's going to get it. So if you think this is a scam, you might get a big decline because not everybody gets this plan, right? This is not some piece of paper. You could put your social, your phone number, your address, your date of birth, and you're going to get it. This is an application process that you have to qualify. So if you think it's a scam, let's see if you're going to get it. Because I already got my 3 and I'm going for the 4th one with this new product that they launched 2 days ago, right? 2 days ago. So guys, thank you so much for your time. Super, super blessed to be able to share this information with everybody, right? Come back here if you want to hear it again. Set up a one-on-one with the person who invited you. But don't keep it to yourself. This is the financial gospel. The same way how we believe in God and we're sharing and telling people that there is a God. If you find something good, why would you want to keep it to yourself? This is the answer for financial cancer. If somebody has the cure for cancer, why would they keep it to themselves when so many people are dying? Well, a lot of people are also dying financially. And we have the answer. First, to educate you about how money works so you are not confused. And secondly, to implement these strategies so not only you're going to be good, but you're going to leave generational wealth, right? Don't be selfish. Not because your auntie or your mom didn't leave something for you. They didn't know better. They didn't know better. But now we're in a time where we know better and where the information is available. So we have to share it. Some people are going to listen. Some are going to say no. Some are going to say yes. Same thing with God. Some people are going to believe in God and some people are not going to believe in God. But the pastor is still preaching all day, every day. There's more churches. So we're going to do the same for preaching financial gospel. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Hey, Stephanie, good to see you. And again, those of you who have questions for me, stay behind if you're an agent. Guests, thank you so much for joining. Just scoot over to the person who invited you, call them right away and schedule a one-on-one. In fact, I'm going to drop my link, the booking calendar, in the chat. So you can just click on it and schedule a one-on-one and make sure you put the person who invited you so they can be on the Zoom as well when we sit with you and do a one-on-one, okay? Vida, you want to say anything to close us out?
I just want to say thanks to all those who came on, and I'm sure you learned something. For those who are new, who are here for the first times, so please, as a little set